on your own. You have to learn it within you. It's not like book learning. Instead, quite the opposite. You have to experience for yourself. You have to practice for yourself. And that is how you are learning about mindfulness. So always remember, although we are joining for the session, you have to do your own practice during the week that you are spending. You have to practice on your own. If you practice like that, then you will realize when you connect to the program, you're understanding more and more. You are realizing what we are talking more and more, and you know a lot about mindfulness. So that is what we do. We learn, we practice. Again, we come and learn a few more things, and we go and practice again. So that's how we want to do the program. That's how we want to participate for the program. Okay, so with that, let me remind something. Let me explain to you a little bit more about mindfulness. Now, most of you, you know what mindfulness is. Most of you, you have some kind of an idea. But let's assume there might be some new kids who are joining today. For them, for the benefit of them also, we will discuss a little bit about mindfulness. Now, when you spend your life, most of the time we are separated from the nature. When we spend our lives, most of the time we are separated. Most of the time we spend time with computers, we spend time with books, and we don't have time to spend in the nature. Okay, then always we are eating artificial food. When we eat things, we don't eat closer to nature. Instead, we eat so many artificial things, so many fast food meals we are eating. And when we wear clothes, when we wear shoes, all the time, we are more and more separated from the nature. Let's say when you wear shoes, you don't know how to walk on the ground. How to walk barefoot, you don't know. Okay, some of you might not even be able to do it. Some of you might feel it's hurting your feet because you are not used to walk barefoot. If you walk in a garden, if you walk in a park, you might feel that your feet is hurting. That's because we are so much separated from the nature. Let's say when we sit, we prefer sitting in a air-conditioned room. But if we have to sit under a tree, we are not happy. We are not happy. And that's how we do. And when we drink something, we don't prefer water. Instead, we do some kind of a cola drink we prefer. So most of the time, we are separated from the nature. We don't eat food that are closer to nature. We don't drink something that is closer to nature. We don't walk barefoot. And most of the time we spend our time inside buildings, inside air-conditioned rooms. So more and more time you spend like that, more and more you are separated from the nature. So when it comes to mindfulness, we try to do the opposite. We try to be with the nature. We try to be one with the nature. So instead of sitting in an air-conditioned room, we might go outside and see how the surrounding is like. Maybe if it is too hot, if you are in a Middle Eastern country, you might not be able to do this. But if you are in a country like Sri Lanka, then of course you can go outside. You can sit under a tree. You can look at the color of the sky. You can watch how the trees are moving due to the wind. All these things you can listen. All these things you can see, and you can hear the sounds of the birds. Instead of listening to music, instead of listening to radio or songs, we go outside and we listen to the sound of the nature. sound of the birds, sound of the rain, sound of the wind. All these things are closer to nature. When you try to eat, we try to eat something raw instead of having a fast meal, having a delicious but deadly meal. Instead, we try to eat a fruit, maybe some fresh vegetables we try to eat. Like that, we try to do the opposite. When you do like that, you feel that your body is healing, your mind is also healing. So when you practice mindfulness, you are becoming closer and closer to the nature. We think we are this artificial creature. We think we are so separated from the nature. But when you practice mindfulness, more and more you understand that you are also a part of the nature. You are also a part of the nature. And when you practice more and more, you become closer and closer to the nature. So that's what we do. When we practice mindfulness, instead of walking inside, we try to go outside and walk. Instead of being unmindful, instead of being in a TV or computer, we try to be with the activity that we are doing. Instead of playing games, we try to go outside and have a walk in the nature. So in this way, we try to do somewhat closer to nature. We try to do things that are closer to nature. We try to go back to our original self, which is a part of the nature, which is much closer to the nature. So when you practice mindfulness, you realize this more and more. Maybe it might be difficult initially. Maybe you will feel it is tiring. But when you do mindful practice more and more, you feel like you are grounding. It feels like a grounding technique. When you do it, you become closer to the nature. You feel peaceful. You feel calm inside your mind. More and more distance you create from the nature, more and more pressure there'll be in your mind, more and more agitation in your mind, more and more difficulty, more and more pain in your mind. But when you become closer and closer, you feel that your mind is also becoming calmer. Your mind is also becoming peaceful. Your mind is also becoming like the nature, like the wind, like the ground, like the water that we see, like the air. So it is becoming more and more closer to the nature. So that is why we practice. Instead of being a separate creature, instead of being an artificial creature, we try to be with the nature. We try and come closer to the nature, and that is what we are doing. So with that, let's move to the next part of our program, which is the practicing part. Now, if you have a question regarding the things I told, you can ask. Otherwise, we are moving to the next part. Do you have a question regarding the things I told? No questions. It seems like you all got it. Okay, right. So we will move to the next part. Next part is mindful walking. So we are trying to do mindful practice while walking. So that is the idea. So for this, if there are any new kids, you have to listen carefully. You have to understand what we are going to do. It is not that difficult. You have to find some space where you can walk for 10-15 feet, right? Walk without disturbances. So find some space within the house or the environment that you are in and walk back and forth. Walk in a comfortable manner, and we are walking back and forth. While walking back and forth, you pay attention to yourself. You try to notice what you are doing. You try to notice what you feel when you do the walking. So initially, it might be difficult and you may not feel anything, but when you do it again and again, when you pay attention again and again, you might feel that you are walking. You might feel that your body is moving back and forth. So when you feel like this, you try to pay attention and observe what is happening. When you observe, you might feel that when your left leg is touching the ground, you feel the sensation of the ground. When your right leg is touching the ground, you feel the sensations of the ground. Just pay attention to that and walk back and forth. And you might feel, if you are walking on a cement ground, you might feel the sensation of the cement. If you are walking on tiles, then you might feel it differently. If you are walking on a carpet, then you might feel differently. So try to walk comfortably and try to observe what are the sensations that you feel. How do you know that you are walking on a cement floor? How do you know that you are walking on a tiled floor? How do you know that you are walking on a carpet? So pay attention and walk back and forth again and again. So when you do like that, you might notice that your mind is jumping here and there. Sometimes it is jumping to the sounds from the surrounding. Sometimes it is jumping to the sights from the surrounding, the things you can see. Sometimes it is jumping to the thoughts. So it is jumping. Your mind is jumping here and there. So that is fine. You don't have to stop it. You just try to be aware, try to be mindful that your mind is with a sound. Try to be mindful that your mind is with a thought. Try to be mindful that your mind is with something that you see. So with that mindfulness, with that awareness, you can bring your attention back to the walking body. Again, you try to walk back and forth. Again, you pay attention. Again, when you observe, you feel different things. Maybe you will feel that your heel is touching the ground first. Maybe you will feel that your toes are touching later. So whatever you feel, you just observe. When you feel your weight shifting from one leg to other, you can see whether there is a difference or whether both legs are taking weight equally. So in this way, we try to observe what we feel and we walk back and forth. We walk again and again while observing what is happening. So when you walk like that, you will have a lot of details. You can notice certain details that are happening. Maybe you will notice that your mind is jumping to sounds. Maybe you will notice that your mind is jumping to thoughts. Maybe you will notice that you are feeling the body, the weight shifting, the ground, how the feet is touching the ground. All these details you will feel. So all of us, let's take around 10-15 minutes and do mindful walking and try to observe what we can feel. So let's gather for mindful walking and start mindful walking. Okay, next we will do mindful sitting. For this, we have to adjust our seating and make sure that you are comfortable. So take a moment to adjust your seat and sit in a comfortable manner. Close your eyes gently and pay attention to the seating body. Calmly observe what you can feel inside your body. How do you know that you are sitting? So when you pay attention like this, you might feel how your body is placed. Maybe you will feel your back touching against the chair. Maybe you will feel your legs pressing against the ground. Maybe you will feel the breath going in and out. Maybe you will feel your stomach moving back and forth. Maybe you feel your heart beating. So whatever you feel, it is okay to observe. Whatever prominent, it is okay to observe. When we observe like this, sometimes our mind will jump to different things. Maybe to sounds from the surrounding, maybe to thoughts. It will jump. So when you know that you are in a sound, be mindful that you are in a sound. Be mindful that you are in a thought. So with that awareness, with that mindfulness, you can bring your attention back to the seating body. Sometimes you will feel sleepy. Sometimes you will feel pain inside your body. So whatever you feel, you just observe. When you feel pain, you observe that you feel pain. When you feel sleepy, you observe that you feel sleepy. Again, you might feel your breath going in and out. Maybe the stomach moving back and forth. Maybe your posture. In this manner, we will sit for a few more minutes and try to be mindful. So as a group, we did mindful walking, then we did mindful sitting. We tried to practice mindfulness. So every week during the session also we are practicing. But of course, you have to make sure that you are practicing on your own. You have to make sure that every day you do some kind of a mindful training, maybe 10-15 minutes of mindful walking and 10-15 minutes of mindful sitting. So if you do like that, then you will understand more and more about mindfulness. So next we have the opportunity to discuss about your experience. You have the opportunity to share your experience with the group. How did you practice mindfulness? What did you feel when you do it? All these little details you can share with the group. So we will move to that session. Now, I think Maheshika would have number of reports with her.
We have 7 written reports.
We have 7 reports, and if you are new here, we invite you to share your experience with the group. You can use the raise hand option and you can get your opportunity. So we are starting with written reports, but of course, if there's a new kid, we would prefer prioritizing them. We would prefer giving them a chance to talk. Okay, we will go ahead. Netmini, Sanjana, do you have reports with you?
Yes, Swaminathan.
So we will take time to the reports. I don't think there are any new kids who want to talk yet, so we can start with the reports. Who is the very first one?
The first one is Besandi.
Steven Sainai, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So in mindful walking, my heels were touching first. Then I can smell the food in the kitchen. I could also hear kids crying outside. Also the cars horning and birds chirping cheerfully. I also did mindful walking for 15 minutes, and the floor was tiles. I felt the floor was tiles. And in mindful sitting, my legs were crossed and my hands were top of each other. I could also smell the food in the kitchen and the birds chirping. My weight was lowering me down to the cushion. I did mindful sitting for 20 minutes.
That's the end of your report. Besandi, is that the end of your report?
Yes, Swaminathan.
Okay.
I could not unmute.
All right. So you didn't mention end report now, so I was waiting for more information.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, right. So you did 15 minutes of mindful walking and 20 minutes of mindful sitting, is it?
Yes, Swaminathan.
Okay, so the time, is it improving or is it decreasing?
That means?
Decreasing?
No, I mean that means like decreasing and increasing like that.
No, I mean like every day when you practice, do you feel that you are improving the walking and sitting time, or is it reducing?
Improving.
Improving.
Yes.
Okay. So let me recommend something. Now today in your report you had 15 minutes of mindful walking and 20 minutes of mindful sitting. Let's say tomorrow when you do, you try to do 16 minutes. You increase by 1 minute. 1 minute is not that difficult, right?
Yes, Swaminathan.
1 minute is not that difficult. So if you improve by 1 minute tomorrow, you will do 16 minutes of mindful walking and 21 minutes of mindful sitting. Okay. So like that, we will improve by 1 minute. Daily, every day, you are improving by 1 minute. So you are only age 9, right? 8 or 9?
8, sorry, not
8. So you are only age 8. So if you can improve your walking time to 30 minutes, and if you can improve your sitting time to 30 minutes, that's more than enough.
Okay, sir.
So I'm suggesting within few weeks, like within 3-4 weeks, you will reach that level. No, so you can do 30 minutes of mindful walking, 30 minutes of mindful sitting. So every day we are improving by 1 minute, we are increasing 1 minute, and we will try to go up to 30 minutes. Do you think that's okay, or is it too much?
That's okay, so I want to.
So you like to practice, no, you like mindfulness very much. So 30 minutes is not a problem for you. If
Yes.
somebody is lazy, if somebody doesn't have the energy, if somebody doesn't like the mindfulness, then it could be a problem. For you, it won't be a problem. Okay? Daily you have to do, huh?
Yes, sir.
I know you are skipping 1 or 2 days within a week, but yeah, at least the rest of the time you have to do daily.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So Anand, our second report is from Dinuni.
Shall we take one of the kids who are raising hand? I know our procedure is to go to the written reports, but if there's a new kid who wanted to talk, we would give a chance to them. Can you see one of the new kids who are raising their hands?
Swaminathan, I think Lindini is a new.
Okay, so we will give a chance to Lindini.
Swamin Mahansi, I'm not new. Swamin Mahansi, last week I couldn't come. Can you tell someone to put the recording on the chat?
Okay, that one, I think, are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, Swamin Mahansi, like last month I came to the class and like suddenly my mother's WhatsApp chat got deleted and I can't see any recordings and
Okay,
messages.
Mayundi
So only
will,
today's messages only appeared.
that's fine. Mayundi will send the link to you. She will share with you. And since you started talking, will you share your experience with us?
About mindful sitting.
Sitting and walking both?
I experienced that my brain, I feel calm inside me, and for both I feel calm, and I experience that
I think you are muted.
Can you give me 1 minute? Someone is calling me. Give me 1 minute, Swaminathan.
Okay, we will come to you. Is there any other new kid who want to talk? Netmini, can you see somebody new?
No, Swaminathan. So I'll go back to written report, Swaminathan.
No, we will give another chance to a new kid. And I think the earlier person will talk again. So we will give another chance to a new person. Who is there? Can you see anybody new?
I think Johan is new.
Johan?
Sorry. No, I'm not new. I just wanted to just give a little, just a report, what I've just done. Not like, no, I haven't actually done anything for mindfulness, but I've just like, for mindful walking, I got a little distracted some things, when I was walking. when I was walking, I had like something stuck on my feet, but they got off. Sometimes I got like distracted, but I got that event, and yeah, mostly that. And yeah, I did also mindful reading. I felt I yeah, that's all.
Okay, I didn't hear the part in between. Okay, so based on the things I heard, so welcome back. You were missing during last few weeks, and your brother is still missing. Is he around?
Uh,
So brother is missing. Okay. So,
no, he's here. He's here.
He's here. Okay, right. So welcome back, and see about the information that you mentioned about mindfulness. Now let's say you do brushing every day. You do brush your teeth twice daily. So probably you can fix this time to practice mindfulness. So Yuhan, when you do brush, you set a reminder. Maybe you can set some kind of a reminder, and every day you get a chance to practice mindfulness. So it is not a huge time. It's only 5 minutes. So 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the night, you get to practice mindfulness. So while brushing, so make sure, give yourself a reminder. So every time I brush, when I take the brush to my hand, I remind myself that I am brushing mindfully. So if you do like that, so by next week, you will have 14 opportunities to practice mindful brushing. So we will target that activity. We won't go for all the activities. Probably it is difficult. So we will target something like brushing. So when you brush, you have to be mindful and you have to tell us what you feel. It won't take too much effort. It won't take too much time. So you just brush mindfully and you can share the experience by next week. Will you do that?
That one.
Okay, so
How?
Okay, let's move forward.
Coming on, sir. We have Sejana.
Okay.
Bhante, can I tell?
Yes, your opportunity.
I am new to this program, and I want to tell about what I experienced in the two types of meditation. And for the walking meditation, on my feet, I could feel like the hardness of the floor, and I could feel the different dust on the floor. And over time, my feet were starting to hurt a little after I was walking back and forth. And for the sitting meditation, I could feel the weight that was on my legs, and it started to hurt over time. And I could feel my hand was a little itching, and I could feel the AC that was coming onto my body. That's what I have to say.
So it's your very first day, right? Is it?
Yes, Bante.
So within one day, you have achieved more than enough. So let me give you further instructions. Now you know how to do mindful walking. You know how to do mindful sitting. So there, it's not a complicated task. You just walk in a comfortable manner. You just sit in a comfortable manner, and you observe. So these are the details that you notice. Sometimes it is hurting. Sometimes you feel the weight. Sometimes you feel the dust. Sometimes you feel the hardness. So all these things we can't reject. These are the things we feel. So every day, try to take at least like 10 minutes and do mindful walking. Take 10 minutes of mindful sitting. So if you do it daily, now you know how to do. So if you do it daily, it is like you are strengthening, you are sharpening your mindfulness. So let's say early in the morning or maybe in the afternoon, you pick your time and try to do 10 minutes, not more than that, no need. Just 10 minutes of walking, 10 minutes of sitting. So again and again, when you do, your mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger. And you will notice more and more details, more and more information about walking, more and more information about sitting. So that's what we are going to do. So if you do like that, by next week, you will practice 7 times, no? 7 times mindful walking, 7 times mindful sitting. And by next week, you will realize you are not a new person anymore. You are not new to mindfulness anymore if you practice like that. So will you do during the week, and will you tell us by next week?
Yes, Bante, I will.
Okay, so that is good. Good that you spoke, because then only we can give you advice. And it's your very first day. So I'm very happy. Now you have to put some time into this. And by next week, if you tell us what you feel when you practice for a week, then we can give you further information. Okay, we are moving forward.
Swamin Nansi, I am giving a chance to Lingini again.
Okay. You are the host, so you have the authority.
Swami Nahanse, from the experience I had, it was calm and it made my I could hear my heart beat while I was doing mindful sitting, and
You are muted.
sorry, Swami Nahanse, my mic got muted. Swami Nahanse, the experience while I was sitting, I could feel my heartbeat. I was sitting on the floor and it was cold. So while I was breathing, I could feel my body was really cold and it was suffering from the coldness I had here. That's all Swami Nahanse.
Okay, when you walk, what did you notice?
Swami Nahanse, while I was walking, I could feel my feet touching the ground, and I didn't think of anything but only just about walking. And I could hear the noise of the fan while I was doing mindful walking, and I could hear my brother shout while I was doing mindful walking and sitting. That's all Swami Nahanse.
Okay, so those things come, we can't reject them because the
Yes,
fan is
Swami.
there, and we can't, silent your brothers. It is natural. Those things are natural. So when you hear your sound of your fan, you just become aware that my mindfulness is with this sound. And when your brothers are shouting, you just become aware that your brothers are shouting. Just become
Yes,
aware.
Swami.
No need to silence them. No need to argue with them. No need to try to behave them. Just be aware. And
Yes,
when
Swami
you
Hanse.
be mindful like that, you will notice that it is disappearing. It is going away after a while. Then again, you come back to your breath. Maybe again, you will feel the coldness inside your body. Maybe again, you will feel the heartbeat. So it
Yes,
is
Swami.
natural. So you have to put in more and more time. Now you know how to do this. Now you have to put in more and more time. Do you practice mindfulness while day-to-day activities as well?
Oh yes, Swami Hanse. I do it every day.
So what are the activities that you are doing mindfully?
Mindful sitting and mindful walking. I do it outside in my garden, and while I put a mat on the garden and I look at the sky and wait. Then my mind feels so calm. I do such things.
Okay, so you are doing it outside. So that's
Yes,
closer
Swami
to the
Hanse.
nature. That's what we discussed earlier when we started the session.
Yes, Swami
We
Hanse.
were talking about how to get closer to the nature. It's not
Yes,
like
Swami Hanse.
physically going. If you go physically, that will help also. But even in your mind, when you try to be with your present moment, when you try to be with what is happening right now, that's also closer to the nature. When you be mindful, that's also closer to the nature. So continue your practice like this, and I am happy that you were able to discuss this, because your voice is new, your face is new, and a lot of kids are here who are not talking. So once in a while we'll try to get few out. So next time also, if you can join and if you can tell us the experience, that is very valuable. And we are moving.
Yes, Swami Hanse. Thank you.
So where is the host?
Swaminathan sir, I'm going back to written reports.
Right.
Dinuli, you can unmute now.
Good evening. Good evening, Swami Vahanse. Can I tell my report now?
Yes.
Okay, Swami Vahanse. So I did mindful walking. I did mindful walking for 15 to 20 minutes. When I was doing mindful walking, I felt the floor cold and hard. At the same time, my feet touched as below order. First one heel, second one little toe, third sole, and fourth toenail. So, Swaminwanse, I have a picture. Can you see Swaminwanse? Swaminwanse, can you see?
Yes, now I can see. Hold on, I'll okay, now I think everybody can see. Right. So each part is touching first.
My first part is the heel. First part is heel. First touched my heel.
Okay. Then the toes.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Good. So your brother is also talking?
Yes, Swamin Vahanse. He has a written report too. Good evening, Swamin Vahanse. I'm going to talk about mindful walking. Mindful walking. I did mindful walking for 15 to 20 minutes. When I was walking, I felt cold and hard. First, I touched my heel. Next, I touched little toe. Third, I touched sole. Fourth, touched toenail. This is my picture.
Okay, now we can see. Right. Okay. Now, since you were interested in mindful walking and since you had these drawings, let me suggest something. All the other kids also, they can do this experiment. They can also try this. And if they report, we can, it will be very nice because you will have a lot of drawing kind of things depending on the activity. Now, two of you, the activity is this. Now, let's say you take few empty papers, A4 sheets, white color, and then you can use some kind of coloring to color your feet. Okay, maybe it could be some kind of like food coloring that you can use. It is not poisonous, so you have to pick proper type of coloring. Food coloring is okay, and you put your feet on this paper, so it'll be like a print of your feet on a white paper, and you have to do it while walking. So you have coloring on your feet, on your sole, and you walk on this paper. So when you do like that, you will have some kind of a print on the paper. Okay, so when you see that print, you will see when the feet is applying high pressure, you will see a darker color. When feet is applying low pressure, you will see a lighter color. On the same print, you will see dark areas, you will see light areas, and certain areas will not even touch. So that is more like a pressure map, how your feet is touching the ground. Okay, so there could be a difference between right leg versus left. So when you walk on this white paper with the coloring, then you can notice these little differences. So can you do that activity and show us the print by next week?
Yes, Swami Mahanse. Okay,
So do you understand what you have to do? Can you repeat so all the other kids also here?
Yes, Swami Mahanse. First, we have to take white color paper and take some paint or food coloring and take our own matching color and color it, apply it to our foot and put it to the sheet of paper, print it on the paper.
Okay, yes, that's what you have to do. Right, so you will show us prints of your feet by next week.
Okay,
Maybe
so
there'll be a difference between left leg and right leg. And Rochana Mama, I am mentioning to you, I am making a note to you, if you can remember this activity and plan for it in future during our activity, I think all of us can do, all of the kids can do. So make sure that you have it planned for within few weeks. I think next week you have something planned, so we will take even the second week and do this probably. Okay, right. So who else is there?
We have Dinesh. Dinesh, you can unmute now.
Did you want to talk?
He has given a written report, Swaminathan.
Okay, Puta, you have to read out your report. Do you have it? You have to unmute first. Then you can read it out. Seems like he is having trouble. Shall we move forward and maybe come back to him later?
Yes, Swaminathan.
Any other new kids you can see? Wanted to talk?
I think Binuti Swaminathan.
Okay, Binuti.
Can I start?
Yes.
I'm new to the program as well, and I would like to share my experience. In the mindful walking, I felt the different textures as I walked on the carpet, and as well I walked on my tiles. As I walked on the tiles, I felt hardness and different textures, as same as the carpet. I felt different textures and softness in the carpet. And in mindful sitting, I felt my heart pumping and my stomach going back and forth. And I felt my mind is in peace. That's all.
Okay. Although you say that you are new, when I hear the report, I feel like you know very well about mindfulness and you have been here for a few weeks. So that is a very good sign, because this is not something strange. This is not something alien to you. It is something within you. It is something that is close to you. We just try to, give necessary direction. We just try to let you know about this quality of your mind. And when you practice, it is right there. You don't have to go searching for anything. It is right there. Even your very first day, you notice, I can feel these little details. And when you feel those things, that is mindfulness. So it is something, a born quality that you have. We just try to give the necessary energy to bloom. So that's the idea. So now, depending on the report, you have done mindful walking and sitting. Now, when it comes to developing further, what's your opinion? What's your suggestion? I'm getting that also from you because your report is very good. Tell us what you have to do next.
I don't really have an opinion. I just come with future and I just let my life decide.
I mean about mindfulness. If you want to get to know mindfulness more and more, if you want to become closer and closer, if you want to strengthen it, what should be your plan?
I would practice daily, and I know I wouldn't practice all the time. Maybe few days, or maybe like 4 days or 3 days. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good session that came from you. So you can do as you suggested. Few days, try to practice again and again. So this is the very first time, no? When you do it again and again, it becomes like a friend. It becomes like a friend that is never leaving, never departing. And whenever something happens, this will help you. This training will help you. This friend will help you. So as you suggested, you do few days of practice. Then let me add one more thing. Now, do you eat? Do you have few meals within a day? So that when you do it, try to be mindful. Try to be aware that you are eating something. Usually we sit in front of a TV, in front of a computer, and we spend hours. We don't know. We are lost in our mind. But if you eat your meals mindfully, you will notice all the little details like these. When you do walking, sitting, you notice certain things. Try to see what you feel when you eat something. What are the tastes that you feel? How you are taking this meal with your hand and putting it in your mouth. How you are grinding the food. All these little details you can notice. So try to do that as well. So you will have 2 tasks. You have to do mindful walking and sitting as suggested. Then again, addition, you can do eating anyway you are doing, no? So you have to be mindful during that activity and probably tell us by next week. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
Metuki, you can unmute now.
Okay, so I did mindful play with the hula hoop. When I was rotating the hula hoop, I saw the color changing in the hula hoop. I felt my heart beating and heard my sister keeping a cup. I heard my mother talking with my grandmother. I saw my hula hoop trying to go down. I quickly took it up. I felt tired. That's the answer.
Okay. Right. Very nice drawing also. Then how about your sister?
I have 2 reports. I did mindful brushing. I did it every day during the night time. I felt the toothpaste was heavy. And when I was washing the toothbrush, I felt the water was cold. I put some toothpaste and started brushing. When I put the toothbrush into my mouth, I felt my mouth became cold. I heard the sound of my brushing, a horn of a bus, and dogs barking. When I was brushing my front teeth, I felt my hand moving in a circular shape, and I also felt the water on the floor. When I was brushing my upper teeth, my hand felt a little unusual and hard. I also felt the environment was cold. I felt really good after this. Last, I felt the taps of the toothbrush removing dirt from my teeth. When I put spit out, I saw the toothpaste was white, and when I was rinsing my mouth, I felt the cold water went inside and hot water came outside, and this was a great experience. I also I made tea mindfully, Swami Mahansa. I practiced making tea mindfully for 3 days. When I took the teapot, it was light. I added tea leaves and I put some boiled water from the electric kettle to the teapot. I felt the kettle was heavy when I was putting the water. I saw steam coming out from it. When I closed the teapot, I heard the lid of it fall onto it. I also was going to open the cupboard. I felt it was hard to open, and when I opened it, the other side cupboard was open. Cupboard door also opened out. I heard the sound of the fridge, my mom and brother talking as well. I took the milk powder out and I felt the tin was heavy. I took a full spoon. I felt it was heavy as well. When I put it to the cup, the spoon felt lighter. I also felt a small ant biting me. When I added the tea leaves to the cup, I saw the color change. It became a little dark in color. It was time to prepare some biscuits, so I washed the dish and I saw small water droplets on the dish as well. I opened the fridge to get some biscuits. I felt the cold wind hitting on me and I also felt the box was cold and heavy. I felt the biscuits were a little cold, but eventually it became a little hot and I felt really happy about making tea mindfully. So I'm going to see the other 2 pictures. This is mindful brushing and this is mindfully making tea.
Okay. Right. Very nice. Both of you. We are really happy to see your drawings and reports. And after a few weeks, we will have a very nice record in your book. It's like it's becoming a journal, and every week you are adding certain things. So within few months, within few weeks, you will see a whole lot of information in that book, right? In that journal. So that's why I am suggesting all the other kids also, they can maintain such a thing. They can maintain a journal for mindfulness. And when you maintain it for a while, when you maintain it for a few months, you will find a lot of details within this book. You will find a lot of information about mindfulness. And when the book is filling, your practice also filling. When the book is filling, you are also learning. Your heart is also filling with mindfulness. So when book is full, your heart will also be full with mindfulness. So that's the idea. That's the way to progress. And I'm happy that you suggested some other activities, day-to-day activities, brushing and making tea. So these are like therapy. When you, even in Japan, you might have seen those people, they do making tea like a therapy. They take their time, they enjoy the making of the tea, and they do it mindfully. Little cups you might have seen on TV or computer. They do it very calmly. They pour the water slowly, and they feel the temperature of the water. They feel how the smell of the tea that they are making. So little this. Our people, we don't have that type of a nature. We just rush. We just, do the kettle with one hand, do the teacup with other hand, then we spill everywhere. So that's how we do. But when you look, those people, Japanese people, they do it like meditation, making a tea like meditation. So those are valuable things that we can learn from them even. So when it comes to our activities, if we do these activities with mindfulness, everything we are trying to do with wholeheartedly. We are trying to do it to the maximum possible level. When you brush, you brush. When you make your tea, you make your tea. When you eat something, you eat. When you sit, you sit. When you walk, you walk. So every activity we are trying to do with attention. So your teeth will last longer. Your meal will be tastier. When you sit, you will sit with comfort. When you study and remember. When you answer your questions, when you face an exam, you answer correctly. So all these things helping us. And we can't imagine the potential that we are building, because every day, every little thing, we are adding to ourselves. We are adding to our life. So tea, you are enjoying more. Brushing, you are doing it correctly, so your teeth will last longer. When you have a meal, instead of becoming unmindful, you have it mindfully. And when you do like that, digestion is also easier and you feel tastier meal. So all these added benefits are there. So that's what we do. It's not a separate practice. This is somewhat related to your life. It is living. Most people, they don't live. They sit in front of a TV. They live in some different world and they don't know even that they are living. They brush their teeth, right? They brush their teeth, but they are thinking about something happened during the day. And they are not living. They are living in the past. They are not living. When they are eating, they sit in front of a TV. They are not eating. When they sleep, they think about other things till they fall asleep. So they are not sleeping. When they study, they think about other things and they can't remember anything that they studied. So it's living. When you practice mindfulness, you try to live. If you are living, you have to live in the moment. You can't live in the past, you can't live in the future. It's the current moment, whatever the activity you are doing. So it's that simple when you try to understand it correctly. So little brother, you have a good teacher. So I am appointing Akka as your teacher, and you have to give another exercise to your brother. you can pick something, you can give it. So from your side, you can try to do further things. Now you made the tea mindfully. Next time, try to see how you can have the tea mindfully. What you feel when you have it. Also remember, you have to do walking and sitting. That is our usual way. That is our usual practice. That's more like bread and butter. But in addition, we do certain other things. So continue to practice this way. Sorry, I couldn't hear.
We designed our cover pages.
Cover pages. Okay, right. So that's one. How about the other one? Okay, that's mindfulness. Right. Slowly, mindfully, silently. Very nice. Okay, so I think we have 8 more kids showing their hands. And today we didn't go through our usual way of doing. Today we tried to give priority to the new kids. And I hope the old kids, the familiar faces, they are not mad because we have to help the new ones. We have to get them up to speed, and we have to, give a friendly hand to them. So that's why we skipped our usual way. Instead, we went to the new ones who were showing their hands to share their experience. So I think we are done with our usual time. So the rest of you don't be mad about not sharing. Instead, we will discuss next week. Next time you will get the opportunity. And I think written reports also remain in view. So you heard the discussion. No? So it's not only a discussion towards one kid, but instead a group discussion. So when we practice, we have to listen to others as well. Listen what they are doing, listen to the practice they are doing, how to make a tea mindfully. All those information you are gathering when you listen. So we had the discussion. So you didn't get a chance. Probably by next week, we can get you a chance. All of you, I recommend that you submit a written report. Then we can give priority as our usual way. So Net Mini, so are you angry that you couldn't go through all the reports?
No, Swaminathan.
No anger?
No, Swaminathan.
Okay. Now you will be doing next week as well, right?
Yes, Swaminathan.
Okay, Mayundi, now then you will create that rotation. I think you have 4 names in each. And I think Vehan is also coming and going. So if he is interested, he can also be one. Diniru is missing today. Diniru is not here, right?
Yes, Swaminathan.
So he will be one. And Netumi Lianage, Netmini, Mayundi. So those are the ones will be in rotation. So after the next week, we will do the rotation. And I think Pansilu wanted to ask a question, right?
Yes,
Can we get
Swaminathan.
that opportunity? Pansilu, are you there?
So an answer that question is already done. The question was, I wanted to go to the washroom. I went, so I'm answered.
Okay, so you
So-
went
so I'm
anyway,
answered.
right? Without permission, you went, right?
No, so an answer I was going to, but I asked for my mother. So
Okay,
sorry,
right.
sorry
So
for the delay.
that's fine. That's fine. Those things you don't have to wait for permission. You can go. Otherwise, it will be a bigger problem, no? So, how's your mother surviving?
She's fine. I'm just I just asked her how is she feeling.
Okay.
She's a bit
So give us the report.
She said she's a bit okay.
Okay. So are you doing mindful practice or you are skipping these days? You are taking a break.
Sanansa, I'm sorry. I will do it.
So from
I'm
your
so sorry.
face, I can see that you are taking a break.
No,
Is
Sanansa.
it?
Sorry,
So
Sanansa.
did you do any drawings recently?
Yes, Sanansa. I
No?
did some. I did some.
Are they close by?
I drew one fox, Sanansa.
Okay, hold
One
on.
fox, one fox, one wolf, and a parrot. Sri Lankan parrot.
That's too close. You had to. Okay, right. Very nice. Fox in a night sky. Okay.
Sanansa, the wolf and the parrot picture. I have stick it in the wall, but I could show you the wolf. Wait, just a second. Can see.
So is that the wolf?
Yes, Sanansa is howling at night.
How can we identify the difference between fox and the wolf?
And the parrot. Wait a second. Wait. And also, Sanansa, a little song. Can you see everyone? See the song also.
Yes, can see. Right, very nice. So you have ability to draw. Okay, now I think Karochana Mama is waiting for something.
It's okay.
Now,
Sorry,
I think,
sir.
yes, Rochana, hold on. Now we have one activity planned. Before we move to that activity, will you announce the material need for next week? I think it's better to announce that first.
For the next week activity, we need one transparent bottle, jam bottle, empty jam bottle would be fine, and vegetable oil that can fill up to about 3/4 of the bottle.
So one glass bottle, then vegetable oil 3/4.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.
And we need 2 tablespoons of vinegar.
2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we need baking soda about 2 to 3 tablespoons.
Baking soda 2 to 3 tablespoons. That's for number 4.
The final one, we need food coloring about like few drops, just few drops. So I mean, also there are 5 ingredients.
5 things we need, right?
Yeah.
So first one is a glass bottle. Transparent. Then vegetable oil, 3/4 of the bottle. Then vinegar, 2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Baking soda, 2 to 3 tablespoons. Food coloring, few drops. So those things you have to bring, kids. 5 things, right?
5 things, Swamina.
So are you clear? Do you have a question about the things that you have to bring? I think you can share it in the group.
Uncle, can
Yes,
you
Swamina, I will do
tell
it.
what is the amount should we need for vegetable?
Vegetable oil, about 3/4 of that empty glass bottle.
If you have a question, you can unmute and ask.
Sir, can you
Wait, Miss.
Go one by one.
So I want to say, what were the items again?
yeah, can you write them all in the chat so we can take a screenshot quicker?
Yes,
No,
sir.
you have to write it. No, Puta, you write it. Why you want to go take a
So
screenshot?
I want to say, what were the items again?
In the food color, we need only one color or some few colors.
If you have different colors, that would be also fine. No, Swamina, sir.
Yes, it's up to you. At least one color you need. If you like different colors, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I think all of you are clear. So you need 5 things for the next week's activity. Okay, right. Now today's activity. Any more questions?
No, sir, no, sir. No, sir.
Today's activity, Rochana Mama is going to do. It is something valuable, something you can remember when you are in a difficult situation, when you feel sad, when you feel angry, when you feel irritated, when your mind is not calm, you can use this activity. You have to remember this activity and you can use this to calm yourself. You can use this to get rid of the anger. You can use this to get rid of the sadness. You can use this to become calm. You can use this to become peaceful. So always remember these activities. We are not just doing them for the sake of doing. You have to remember, you have to apply them to your life. Okay, so that's my comment. I will ask Rojana Mama to explain further.
This activity, we are going to teach you one mindful activity that can make you calm down if you are anxious or feeling exciting, as Samina explained. So I'm going to show you and explain you how to do it. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, mommy, we can hear you.
Yes, uncle, we can hear you.
Yes, this activity is called take 5 breathing. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to take your hand forward like this and take your next index finger and keep it here. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to drag the finger very slowly along your 5 fingers. Okay. As you drag your finger up, you have to take a deep breath in. Okay. Through your nostrils. Like, once you reach the tip of your finger, give a little pause. Then as you move down, you have to breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, that is the activity. Shall we do all together once?
Yes, everybody, you have to take deep breaths. Okay. And you have to do with Rojana Mama. So all of us, we will do at once. And we are taking deep breaths. When you say deep breathe in, you take a deep breath and you let it go. Like that, we are taking 5 breaths. So we will do again.
Okay, are you ready? Okay. Let's start. Yeah, you can even repeat it more and more times.
Let's ask Deepal Mahatya to do one more with the comments. Breathe in, breathe out. You have to guide them once more.
Yeah, can you all hear? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, let's start. Okay, so I'll start from here. Okay, breathe in. Okay. Okay, again breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, thank you.
So that's the activity, today's activity. And Rochana, how many kids submitted last week's homework? How many
Yes,
reports?
Swaminansa. Swaminansa, Swaminansa, I received 4 videos. They were from Metuli, Laviru, Besandi, and Mayundi. They have done those tricks perfectly and very skillfully, and obviously far better than me. And I was so delighted to see them.
So only 4 of them completed out of 40. So that's 10% success rate. So others,
Yes,
are you doing or you want to skip? You can unmute and answer.
Someone say I was doing the exercise.
I was absent. I did it.
I did the exercise. I did the exercise.
I didn't come.
Okay, if you were absent, then you can't do anything. But if anybody would like to submit,
You can watch the recording, right?
yes, you can watch. If you are absent, you can watch the recording.
Send it.
I think she already shared it.
No,
She will.
Chat got deleted. No, Swaminansi, that's why Swaminansi.
Okay, she will send it again. So others, I think she already sent. So Mayundi will share it again. And if you're absent, you can go through the video earlier and join the session. So you know what we did during the week. And if you want to submit, you have to submit it within next. Roshana, what is the deadline we should give? Usually I prefer the deadline before this program. So every like Saturday.
Yes, sir.
We are.
Sorry, Swaminansa, I mentioned it's on Friday, the deadline, but
Yes.
we can give, yeah. Swaminansa, even we can accept until Saturday.
Yes, we give them till Saturday. Sunday morning, you are finishing the submissions. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So today's activity, today's homework. Now you remember the activity we did. It's take 5 breaths. That's the activity. So today also you have to do a video. That's your homework. So you are going to explain this activity to somebody. Let's say somebody new is there. So your task is to explain this activity, right? So tell them we are going to do this activity called take 5 breaths. And this is the idea of the activity. When you are angry, when you are sad, you can do this activity to calm yourself and give the idea of the activity. And then you can perform, right? Take a breath, then let it go. Like that you can perform. Okay. So that video you can submit to Rochana Mama, and that is your homework for this week. So Metuli, Prematilaka, then Besandi, then Mayundi, then Laviru. I saw your videos. You have done a very nice presentation, and of course the magic trick as well. So you were like real magicians performing, and that's a way to improve. You know, when we think about mindfulness, you think magic are not related. Some people might think, but mindfulness is doing some activity mindfully, doing some activity right, doing some activity with that attention. So when it comes to an activity like magic, you have to be really attentive. You have to be really aware. Otherwise, you will just spoil the trick. Otherwise, the audience will know how you did it. If you are really mindful, if you are really sharp, then only you can do it correctly. So as Rochana Mama did the other day, he was doing it very nicely. He had to do it mindfully. If he was not mindful, then the audience will notice. Audience will notice that how he did that trick. So that's mindfulness in a sharp level, in a very high level. So that's the activity we did the other day. And I think 4 of you got it and were able to perform that task. And if you are interested, you can submit it by tomorrow. And by Saturday midnight, he will close the submissions. Okay. Right. Rochana, anything to add?
Swaminatha, that's all, I guess.
Dipal Mahatya, Niranja, if you want to add something. Okay, now it seems.
That's fine. Yeah.
Right. So Netmini, we will ask her to finish the session.
Yes, Swaminatha. Most Venerable Dhammakasala Swaminatha, I'm taking this opportunity to thank the Swaminatha on behalf of all the friends who have joined today for today's session, for giving us the valuable experience about mindfulness. Have a mindful week.
So let me make final one more announcement. Now, when it comes to host, you can be creative. You can add certain things you like. You can add different comments every day. When you start the meeting and you end the meeting, you can take 1 or 2 minutes. I am giving you that time. You can take 1 or 2 minutes to tell something creative. Tell something that you think about mindfulness. Invite in a creative way. End the session in a creative way. So those things are available. You don't have to exactly say the single sentence every week. Okay. So with that comment, we will end the session, and everybody have a mindful week. You can unmute and wish others as well.
Have a mindful week. Everybody. Have a mindful week, everybody.
Have a mindful week, everyone.